Rachel Notley really wants to tell you that you can't protest her carbon tax, but she can't, so instead she's going after the official opposition. Yesterday, the NDP caucus Twitter account sent out a demand letter for Brian Jean to explain why the Wildrose Party is lending its name to our rally, in which they state a female reporter received death threats, which is totally unproven, climate science was denied, oh my gosh, hackers were invoked. I hope it's not the Russians personally, and walls should keep the Prime Minister out of Alberta. I guess all of those headlines about chants backfired, and the media can't hide the fact that Albertans are truly fed up with the NDP's outrageous policies that are working against them, which is why anti-pipeline activist herself, Rachel Notley, and her activist caucus are truly showing their desperation by attempting to shut us all up and stop showing the public that Albertans truly don't want this tax, which the NDP didn't even campaign on, to be implemented in the new year. The NDP didn't expect anybody to show up to these rallies. They figured the fake news headlines would drive everyone away, but they didn't. By the way, do the NDP really believe that people are buying this load of made-up drama? They've hired Brent Michael Dancy, an NDP activist from Manitoba that was sentenced to 9 months in jail for brutally beating a man even after he had fallen to the ground after being punched too many times to count, according to eyewitnesses, and he continued to kick him. The judge even put a 10-year prohibition from owning explosives and firearms on him after he served his sentence. And what about Karen Mahone, the anti-pipeline activist that's been arrested for civil disobedience while protesting the Trans Mountain Pipeline? Those protests ended up in dozens of arrests where police also arrested people for spitting on officers and obstruction. She's now on the Oil Sands Advisory Group panel that Rachel Notley appointed her to in order to make decisions for Albertans about oil and gas. Seems like a real sweetheart, doesn't she? Compare this to the 1,000+ Canadian patriots at our rally who proudly sang along with MLA Leela Ahir, who led the national anthem that was, by the way, interrupted by NDP operatives, the Raging Grannies, and Derek Fildebrandt, who spoke proudly of being an Albertan and on behalf of Albertans. The NDP think this is going to stop, but it won't. I can tell you in my experience with the Rebel and going to these things, rallies have grown in Calgary alone from about 40 to 1,000 people in attendance in just about a year. That was then and this is now. Calgary has the highest unemployment rate nationally at 10.3%. People are frustrated, and that's why the NDP want to shut us up with this fake outrage. It's embarrassing for them, and it shows that millions of dollars in ads aren't going to convince people to accept the carbon tax. It's laughable that the NDP are demanding answers from the Wildrose Party when they themselves employ convicted criminals and are activists, isn't it? How about they answer to Albertans about those people? For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks for watching. Hey, did you like that video? If you did, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of our amazing content that you won't see anywhere else.